What would you choose if you had to choose between your baby and the entire planet? That's the question that's posed in the new Fantastic Four movie. I just watched it, First Steps, and we have a lot to discuss. I want to do a chiller video this time because I'm going to go on vacation soon. I don't really want to spend time editing, so I hope that you enjoy. We're going to talk about non-spoilers first and then spoilers. So let's start off. It was really a good time. So I expected to see a lot of stretchy limbs and a lot of flame on, but I actually was crying a lot in this movie because they choose to embark on an emotional arc, and I personally like that. I know a lot of people are looking for intense action scenes, and there are in this movie. They're more on the level of Captain America, Brave New World, as well as Thunderbolts, where there's an emotional anchor that's carrying the story forward, and that emotional anchor in this movie is Franklin, their child. And this movie surprised me as both a pediatrician and a movie fan because, oh, by the way, hi, I'm Dr. Peter. I'm a pediatrician and a movie fan. I really liked it because once Franklin is born, or before he's born, the whole superhero gang has to get into baby mode and they have to babyfy the house. And they do a pretty good job, I must say, from a pediatrician's perspective. They unplug all the loose cords so that no one's tripping as they're holding Franklin. They plug up all the outlets with plastic covers so that no one's, like, I mean, he's not crawling yet, but you don't want to ever get to that point and have forgotten it. Knives are put in cupboards. They are also locking anything that he could pull things out of. And they put a, it's very funny, they put a guard over the staircase gate, and Ben actually trips down it. So it's them babyfying it and then having to remember that a baby's coming and messing up and interacting with it, which is it was very grounded in that reality of what everyone has to do to prepare for a baby, which was really charming, and they did all that in a montage. Another thing that I really liked is that the movie starts off not having to explain who these people are. It actually starts off with a very, I mean, we talked about that emotional anchor. It starts off with a very tender moment with the pregnancy test, and it comes back positive. And I just want to give a huge shout out to the set design people, because the way the pregnancy, this is not a pregnancy test, this is a pen, but the way that it looked so antique and also futuristic at the same time, and it starts blinking positive, and they look at each other like, wow, this is the start of a new journey for us. And even just the attention to detail, that's what makes these movies so fun to watch, when someone comes together. I mean, the costuming department, we'll talk about them. I found that the costumes were a little lackluster, but maybe that was the point because they're going to get some real upgrades in the next movies. But the attention to detail with the pregnancy test really got me. I really appreciated the clever way that they introduce who these characters are, because they are bringing them onto a news segment and then show a montage of all their superpowers. So we'll talk about what worked, what was kind of wobbly, and then also why this might be the best Fantastic Four movie we've gotten to date. They have this lighthearted tone of preparing for the baby, immediately juxtaposed with the imminent threat of Galactus coming, and the baby is also coming as well. So there's two forces that are about to collide, and they go to meet Galactus. Now, I'm not going to tell you what happens at that meeting, but that was one of the coolest segments of the whole movie, which led to the birth scene. And that has to be one of the most incredibly cinematic moments I've ever seen. The music was operating on such a high level. The teamwork aspect, not even teamwork, the family aspect of all this came together. And I mean, the way that she gives birth is so touching and so raw. And she does it in outer space. It's such a beautiful scene. You're going to love that moment. I mean, I did. I would love to see it again. I just wanted them to give us one, big shot, one widescreen of her floating with the sun in the background, the baby floating. I mean, they did such amazing ways, but that's what I was hoping for to see. I wanted to see like some light catch her as the baby's being born silhouetted. That would have been, because I imagine, not even I imagine, I experienced that as a pediatrician when I'm in the labor and delivery ward. There's like the sun rising in the background, the baby comes out like this. It's so beautiful. I can spare your whole planet if you give me your child. And it's explained why a little bit later, but it's really a big ask. And they say no. There's a lot of questioning about what the right thing to do is. And it's almost like the Jesus story. One person sacrificed for the benefit of the whole world. And it's like, who gets to make that decision? And, is it Franklin's decision? Well, he's a baby. Is it the mom's decision, the dad's decision? Who gets to decide? And is it the people's decision? Does the world get to vote on it? I thought, with how much the reporters were pushing on the family, they would have been like, but a couple questions about how we're actually going to put that. What does that mean? You're not going to, wait, what? And I do think that the actors did a phenomenal job. Vanessa Kirby was really excellent in this movie, truly. She pulled on all the heartstrings. You could see her going through superhero, mom, world saver mind. And it's really cool that once Galactus' threat is established, each of the 4 characters embarks on a different journey. And their goal is the same, to sort of save the world, but how are they going to do it? So Reed takes the position of prioritizing intelligence, logic, science. Sue takes the position of prioritizing her family. Johnny takes the position of wanting to be in space and space exploration. And then it's very interesting that Ben, who they don't call the Thing, I'm so glad that they don't. I mean, maybe at 1 or 2 points in the movie, I don't even actually think it's in the movie at all. They always call him Ben, and that's great because I don't like calling him the Thing. Ben embarks on a journey of exploring his humanity. When the Silver Surfer comes, it's you're all going to perish. Use this time to say the things that you've never said, to live the life you wish you had, celebrate and come together. And he does that. And his whole journey is because he's the least humanoid of all of them. He explores what it's like. I mean, it's very subtle, but what it's like to be human. And he wants that human connection. It was just very subtle, those paths that they all took to reach the end, which is their arc. I love when a story operates, not just, this is the threat, these are the heroes, collide. It's, this person has a nuanced journey and each one does, and they all come together by the end, or maybe they don't. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you. So I had a good time. I think it's a really great start to phase 6 ? What do you think about that? I'm not sure where we are in the phase, but if this is what the tone is going to be moving forward, I mean, I did like Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World. So if this is the direction we're going based on the grandeur and the scale that they're opening up, I'm happy with it. And I think that it is a really wonderfully curated movie. There are some issues which we'll get into right now in the spoiler review, but if that's all you wanted to watch, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. You can check out my Superman review, but if you want to stick around for the tea. Oh, also, regarding the mid-credit scenes and the end-credit scene, I don't know why they're doing this, but they really need to be cognizant about how you're leaving the theater feeling. And the mid-credit scene, whew, really good. Really good. There's a reveal of a character who's coming it's very small, but it then follows with the Fantastic Four will appear in blank. And then they end the final movie with the end credit scene, which is sort of like just a gimmick. And that, a lot of people left my theater. We were the very first showing in New York City. A lot of people left saying, what? So I think they should have reversed them. Have the gimmick so you end with the anticipation of the next movie, because the way that they do have it deflates it. But they're both 2 kind of good moments, but I think the mid-credit is really strong. So that's all I have for you who don't want to talk about the spoilers. If you want to talk about spoilers or if you've seen the movie, I would love to chat with you.